in 92 was introduced to my third wife after my late wife Bonnie died in 91, and that was quite amazing how that happened. That was a very unusual type of introduction by invisible entities who set us up together.
Well, we'll talk about that at the end of the show, but let's get through these 1992 to 1995. Did you have anything to add in there other than the women you married and the stories? Because we'll talk about their stories separate. But right there about your UFO, is it you want to mention any more UFO events that you've been a part of right there in this part of the show?
There were about, I would say 40 or 50 encounters in 92 to 94. Quite extraordinary, and I would go out into the field, and I called and contacted Dr. Ellen Crystal, who wrote the book Silent Invasion, about all of the UFO activity around Pine Bush in the 1980s, when we had the Hudson Valley a night siege of huge craft up and down the Hudson Valley, and she took me out into the field, and the first night I was out there, we started seeing craft coming in and diving into the ground, coming out of the ground, flying right over our heads, and I was just blown away. As a scientist, I'd never been exposed to anything like this before, and I thought, wow, I mean, the world needs to know about this. If this is happening, I mean, and I'm seeing it, and it's not a hallucination, it's not an illusion. I mean, we're seeing these craft with all lit up coming in and flying around us, and quite spectacular. And night after night, when I would go out in the field with Ellen Crystal and her other sky watchers, we would see stuff coming, and they started putting on performances for our cameras. This wasn't normal. Most UFO sightings are single events that people are happy that they even saw one craft in their lifetime, and yet we were having repeated encounters with these craft that they were flying around this one area around Pine Bush in a 24 square mile area. It was quite extraordinary how much activity there was really that was taking place, and I documented it all when I was out in the field. And I have a book right now that is in the final stages of editing that deals with all of these sightings. It's been a large task to be able to put it all together into a coherent story, and it's a story that most people don't realize is that we are not only are we not alone, we haven't been alone for thousands of years. They have been with us and precede us before humans even evolved on Earth. So they're not new. They're really not extraterrestrial. That's the amazing thing. Just because they can fly out into space, and does that mean that now that we fly and put humans out in space, that we are the extraterrestrials? But they have been here on Earth, the ones that I've been dealing with, for a long, long time.
Well said, sir. I like that, and that helps me build a story for all of us here that we're sharing. Folks, my logo slogan is Alien Civilizations Exist, and my club, ACO, is all about the Ascension Center organization and how we'll move forward. Okay, and now can you tell me, where was let's get some history on the 95, since I'm here and promoting for Gulf Breeze and being the Mecca with Roswell. Can you remember the location of the hotel? Because Dr. Bruce Maccabee, PhD, is our national director for both ACO and UFO, for alien contact and UFO sightings are we can say the nuts and bolts. But since he actually did the investigation on Gulf Breeze and I live here, he carries in his resume or in his write-up bio that he is our national director for ACO and UFO Association organization. So do you remember anything that you could share with us, the basics of who, what, when, where, why, and how here in Gulf Breeze, so I don't have to go do it?
Okay, well, I have a web page that gives that information, and I'm going to now go to it because I'm going to go to that because it contains that specific information that you requested. And
Thank
okay,
you.
Here we go. Let me scroll down here. I'll let it.
All right. While you're doing that and getting ready to read data, people, it costs money to do history and to save it on the planet. And we're working in the cyberspace community with various archivists, historians, researchers, and especially alienologists and ufologists. So I'm looking for people that have been data collectors so we can get us a prime Allied Command Organization location. And I don't know how much this is going to cost us, but if you'd like to be a part of that, please go to patreon.com/alien, what are we calling it now? Oh, like in space, Allied Command Organization. So we do have a page on Patreon, and we're looking for 500 minimum people to donate a minimum of $1 to start our own YouTube account, which I've set up as Allied Command Organization. And with that, Dr. Bruce Cornett, PhD, is starting this with information that Dr. Ken R. Johnston, Sr. also has records, and we will do our best to provide a server for everyone. And Dr. Bruce Cornett has his on his website right now. He's paying for his own server, as am I. So, Dr. Bruce Cornett, if you'd like to mention your website, and we will put it in our advanced communications.agency community right now. Just got your one page you sent me. So we'll have a link to that one.
Okay, this is my Monmouth Internet webpage, which will have a lot of links to all the other web pages, okay? I have over 200 web pages out there. It's https://user pages, lowercase, .monmouth, MONMOUTH.com, /tilde B Cornett, lowercase, /. The tilde is that little mark in your upper left keyboard, and then to the left of the one. And so it's userpages.monmouth.com, /tilde B Cornett, and you'll get my introductory webpage. And if you want to go to the one on that contains all my information in it, my curriculum vitae, resume, and all of that stuff, it is www.sunstar, lowercase, dash, or hyphen, solutions.com, in caps, AOP, in caps, in caps, SOW, in caps, and that will get you to my main webpage that has all of this stuff. Oh, yeah. And in other words, after the SOW, SOW, it's SOW, lowercase, .htm. That'll do it. So that's the webpage called Serious Onion Works. It's a play on the word Orion. Because the mystery is like an onion. You have to peel away the outer leaves to be able to find the core of truth. Okay,
so you have a sense of humor then, but I've always used peel an onion as well, for my own personal data about myself and all the different jobs I've had on the planet. All right. Well, if you'll go forward then, please share the 1995. Yes, please explain who, what, when, where, why, how, how many, if you have any data. As we do archive someone that had a first-hand experience, and you did. So please go forward with that. Thank you.
Okay. Well, on May 1995, I was invited to the Project Awareness in Tampa, Florida. That's the 19th to 21st of May 1995, and I reported on newly discovered moon structures. That was a 2.5 hour talk. Then on October 14th, 1995, I was invited to the Capstone House Inc., Northwest Florida's Inspirational Learning Center, 6th anniversary speakers, 14 October 1995. My talk was on what NASA hasn't told us, enormous artificial structures above and below the surface of the moon, and the Mars-Earth connection, Cydonia 2 on Earth, and its resemblance to the Hudson Valley, Pine Bush, New York anomalous aerial object sightings. Back-to-back speakers with Wendell C. Stevens. So that was the Gulf Breeze event. That was at Capstone House Inc.
Thank you.
Northwest Florida.
Did you mention the
location?
Did you mention Gulf Breeze?
Yes, it's Gulf Breeze. The Capstone House event took place in Gulf Breeze.
Do you have an address?
No, that's all I put down in my records here.
All right. Well, at least you archived what you did, and we appreciate that. Is there any photos of the speakers?
Oh, boy. Yes, somewhere in my file system. Yes, I'm sure there are lots of photos.
Well, we don't want to go to the Wayback Machine, but we may have to.
Yeah.
The Wayback Machine, folks, is what we use in cyberspace, but giving them a little plug. Wayback, W-A-Y-B-A-C-K, machine. I have to go back there sometimes for my own archive data as a historian and investigative reporter for my American News magazine, and I wrote for AmericanChronicle.com. But, oh, my goodness, it takes so much money. I've spent so many thousands of dollars archiving information for Broadcast Music Incorporated, the bluegrass events I had in 2003. But now I've been called here by the extraterrestrials and taken up and brought back down, and you can see that little incident on the Theresa J. Morris ACO Club or TJ Morris Agency. And Dr. Bruce Cornett, PhD, has joined me, and he is sharing with us some data points with his websites as well. So we're going to join and hopefully get us all some wonderful server someplace so we can all be ufologists and alienologists, phenomenologists, and metaphysicians, and some of us are philosophers too. But Dr. Bruce, while you're on here, and we have Dr. Bruce Maccabee, that's Dr. Bruce with our national director, but you're going to represent Texas with under Southwest Region Tony R. Elliott. I don't think you're familiar with him. He's a journalist that handles our Southwest region for our ACO club. But tell us a little bit more. How you said you had 130 websites. Is that true?
No, over 200.
Or, oh my gosh, you must be a millionaire.
Yeah, well, no, I just spent a lot of time in the first, from 1998 to 2004. I spent a lot of time creating websites. I became my own webmaster, hosted other people's websites, and had my server on Monmouth Internet at the time. And then in 94, I was hired by the National Institute for Discovery Science, NIDS, in Las Vegas. And Dr. Colm Kelleher hired me because he was trying to save NIDS because Robert Bigelow, the billionaire, wanted to close it down. Bigelow ended up closing it down anyway after I had moved all of my belongings and everything out to Las Vegas. My wife fully supported me on this. She stayed on the East Coast, and I ended up in Las Vegas. And at that particular point, we realized that since all of her children had left the nest and she was no longer living in her house in Red Bank, New Jersey, that, we might as well go our separate ways, which we ended up doing. And,
did you meet Mr. Bigelow, the
yes,
hotel chain?
I've met him 3 times when I was there.
Give us your impression.
My impression
have an
of him?
editorial opinion for my ACO community.